Good day, hi, and welcome. Once again, it is Wednesday, which means, I gotta find a place to put my camera so you guys can. I said I was gonna have this camera angle thing worked out for you for this week, but apparently I lied. But that's okay. That's okay. We can do this somehow. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use this, which I got from my GoPro on stage tonight. Watch how well it's going to work for this. And you guys thought I was just a pretty face. Like, really. And you doubted me. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Mind you, if it just goes flying, it's because I hit the brakes or something. It's like, okay, well, I'll try it. So, still not the best angle. Hang on. I'm going to get this in. I'm going to get my seatbelt. Dad's probably saying, why is it taking him so long to get going? Okay, it's been an interesting day. Well, let's see. That's pretty good. It's been an interesting day. Now it's going to hopefully be a really great evening. Looking forward to it. What am I looking forward to exactly? Well, allow me to tell you what I'm going to do tonight. Last week, I did very well. Each week gets better. I did not book the gig yet. I am not procrastinating. I'm doing something different. What I'm doing is stalling. It's like procrastinating, but it's no, I'm kidding. I'm not stalling. I just haven't gotten a hold of the owner yet. And the reason why is not that I'm afraid to book a gig. It's the opposite. I don't want to get off the stage. Once I get on the stage, I don't want to get off the stage. But what it is I want to see what I want to. If I'm going to be playing about 3 hours there, I mean, yes, I want to make money at this. There's no doubt about that. I'm not going to make a lot. I mean, I'm going to be playing for the door when I do book it. You could sell tickets there or play for the door. Now, the thing is what I also want to do is feel out the crowd a little bit more. That's one thing. The other thing I want to do is just, maybe a couple more. There's no rush to do it. And I also got to start looking for other places to play. You practice, like I say, you don't have to play for free, everywhere you go. And in fact, I recommend you don't play for free any more than, like, at jam night, you're not going to get paid to go and play 3 songs. I get that. That's not, but like a 3-hour night or 45-minute sets or whatever it is it works out to. I nearly was able to awooga somebody there. I will honk this horn at somebody. I dare somebody just to be outside. Is she home? My woman's never home. Damn it! I like scaring the crap out of her with the horn because it's always funny. But long story short, whatever it is, you're gonna watch out, dog. Don't you do it? That's a nice looking dog. He's cute. Playing too close to the road, though. He's not going to live long doing that. Anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah. So, whatever it is I'm going to play, how many umpteen hours I'm going to play. That's what I'm looking for. My dad borrowed the vehicle, so like my mirrors are all in the wrong spot now. I got the sun right behind me, so I can't adjust them. I get blinded. But anyway, what's going on is that you want to get a good feel for the place. So when you do play, what you're doing with your gig is you're trying to secure your next gig. What does that mean? Well, quite simply put, is exactly that. It just means you want to put your best foot forward for your first gig. So if it's a place that's going to require a different type of, a different type of crowd, different type of playing, whatever it might be, you want to see what you're going to get away with, song-wise. So sometimes if you could just hone in like 3 or 4 songs to see what people really respond to, because sometimes you'll play a great song, but people just don't respond to it. And that's kind of what I had going on last week, where The music was good. Everybody liked what I played. I played a little bit fast again. I am catching that. It's a good idea whenever you do play live. Monitor, because you might think you did really well, but sometimes you'll catch yourself often you'll catch yourself playing way too fast. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's just that you're excited or if you're just, I mean, I enjoy myself. It's not nervousness. I don't get that. I get up there and I know my job, so it's not that. It's just, for some reason, I tend to go with a higher tempo. But it's probably because you practice at a higher tempo and you don't realize it. That's why it's good to, film yourself from time to time. And it's really good to film yourself live because you're going to discover things that you do in practice that you don't do live and vice versa. And things that you should do in practice that you don't do. One of the things you do in practice is we always play too fast. It doesn't matter if you're a one-man band or whatever. Most people just play too fast. Unless it's there's some people that just naturally play really slow. But I tend to be one of those people that naturally tend to play too fast. And I'm not talking like speed demon fast, but just a little higher tempo than what the song will typically require. And getting the tempo right is a lot too. Because number one, if you're playing and singing, it gives you more breathability time. Now, the songs I'm playing tonight are of a moderate tempo. One's kind of like you call it pop rock. You wouldn't really call it a power ballad. It's not sad. It's whatever. It's kind of happy-go-lucky. But it's, a boy meets girl song, right? The second song is kind of a little more melodramatic boy meets girl song. But the third song, and I'm not going to tell you what song it is a love song of love songs. Now, the thing about this song is that it's going to be a song that I either get right, and I will have the room completely eating out of my hand, or I'm going to bomb it completely. There goes the mayor. And I've been practicing it all week and whatever, doing my best at it, so I think it got it down pretty good. But the last song, if I can squeeze in the fourth song, I think is going to be a good. It's a crowd pleaser. It's a bit of a melodic, rebellious song, kind of bad boy song type of thing. But it's not like offensive or like that. You'll know it as soon as you hear it. But it's one that's I'm going to be able to showboat a little bit on it because I don't have an instrumental for tonight. What I was going to try to do for tonight for my instrumental, I usually like to do one instrumental per night. And what I was going to do, and I want you to just kind of envision it. First off, I have to change my voice a little bit here because what we're going to do tonight is basically something really, really cool. What it is basically I'm going to play like Yngwie Malmsteen. But instead of just like really cool Yngwie Malmsteen, that would be awesome, what I'm going to do is play like Dick Dale playing Yngwie Malmsteen playing a Dick Dale tune called Nitro, which would be really cool and awesome. And if it's a cool night, it's okay because we'll be indoors getting warmed up with the cool tunes, which is really awesome, which is very cool. And why does Yngwie talk like that? Because he's Yngwie. He's allowed to talk like that. He can say cool as many times as he wants, right? He's a guitar guy. I cut the guy some slack, right? So I was going to do that, but I just couldn't get the notes I couldn't account for all the notes. I practiced it, but I was like, and I'm trying to shred with it, but a lot of times we hear these guys like Paul Gilbert, Yngwie Malmsteen, Eddie Van Halen, and we always, when we try to play what they play, we always play it way faster than they do. These guys, it's one of those kind of hurry up and slow down. You know what I mean? You got slow is smooth, smooth is fast. That works with everything. That works with guitars, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Guns, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Girls, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Okay, anyway. But that's how it works, right? So finesse, it's about precision. And when it comes to playing guys like Yngwie or whatever, got a guy on a bicycle here. He didn't wave at me. I should have ran him off the road, little bastard. Anyway, not rude. Your family name is Mud. That's the way it works up in these parts. You know, you don't wave at a fellow hillbilly, man. Your name is Mud. You just bit off more than you could chew, buddy. You just started a 10-year clan war between my family and your family. As soon as I find out who your family is, that's the guy that didn't wave to me back in 1942. His name is Mud. The whole clan of them, throw him out. He's at war now. He's fighting. Anyway, I'm kidding. He didn't wave either, and he knows who I am. I guess heading into the sun, he can't see me, so I'll cut him some slack. But the other guy, his family, we're going to have a family feud now. Anyway, getting back to the task at hand, family feuds later. I couldn't quite nail it for this week. And I'm at that point, and this is something you're going to notice yourself doing. I noticed this years ago as well. It's nothing new, but just something that maybe some newer performers are going to catch themselves doing. You're going to pick a couple of songs, and you're going to want to do them. And it's like, you don't want, when do you bring out your song? When do you showcase the song you want to play? Do you wait till you have it 100% perfect? Meaning that every note's accounted for. It's so perfect, it's just like listening to the recording, which is what we all want to do. We want to sound better than recording. And I don't mean we don't want to sound as good as we want to sound better. We want to do stuff that you can't get off the original song that will just blow people away. You want to be better than that. And some songs, it seems like it takes a little while to finesse, learn, and just get it down perfect, right? But by the time you get it down perfect, you played it 15,000 times and you're so sick of it, you just don't want to do it. But there's some songs just require that. Don't do it, little kitty, please don't do it. You got something to live for. That's right, mister. He looked like he was going to end it there. Maybe this, I'll throw myself under that guy's tires. There's so many squished little rodents on it. There's a lot going on right now. There's bears running all over the place. One was just shot in Aylmer. It's about 10 towns over, near the city. There's bears running through the cities of Ottawa and down the Byron Market. I actually awooed a bear today with this horn. I couldn't believe it. And I got it on video. You're going to see it. I don't know if you're going to see it very well, but I awooed a bear. I could check that off my bucket list. On your bucket list, skydive, climb Mount Everest, awooga the bear with the horn here. And I done that. I done that today. I literally scared the crap out of a bear. He ran with it and he left a steaming pile when I hit the horn. I scared the crap out of a bear because he got awooga. That's the sound the horn makes on this thing, right? It's okay. Did a bit of a Quebec stop here. I'm pretty sure I'll be forgiven for it. In Quebec, you have three options. Green means go, yellow means go faster, and red is just a suggestion. This is according to Jacques Villeneuve, one of the best race car drivers in the world, who only became that way through driving through Montreal traffic, which makes sense, because if you've ever driven in Montreal, I haven't driven in Montreal myself, but I've been through Montreal years ago with friends and stuff like that, driving with them, and I gotta say, Montreal traffic sucks. You would have to be a race car driver to drive through that. Anyway, going on. Getting back to that. So you pick your song, you learn your song, but you learn your song to a degree where it's like, okay, at some point I just got to play this thing for people. And, the chips are going to fall where they may. You don't want to showcase your song too early, meaning, okay, you don't know where all the chord changes are, you don't know... He knows. I'm a celebrity in the neighboring town. It's like, oh yeah, there's a bunch of the firefighter guys. They're like, every time they see me, they know I'm gonna honk anyway. It's like, oh yeah, there he is, hit it. Yeah. This thing's a classic. This would be the most inconspicuous vehicle on the planet. Everybody knows who drives it now. All my friends are like, I'm scaring the crap out of them. They'll be out in their yard, cutting the grass or something. I'll hit the horn on this thing. And it is really loud. It is really loud and stuff like that. And of course, it was like when I showed this to my old boss who used to own this, he was like, Yeah, I said, did you put this horn in? I hit the horn. He said, whoa, no, that, I didn't do that. That wasn't me. You know, that was definitely my cousin. My cousin's a bit morbid, like me, so that's good. But anyway, long story short, yeah, you pick your song. You've practiced it, you played it. It might be a tad bit rough, but if you really apply yourself, you'll nail it, right? And once you get to that level, it's time to showcase it. Whereas if you wait till it's perfect every time you play it, well, first thing you're going to notice is that you're never going to play perfect every single time you play. You're going to get pretty close. But there's always going to be, I could always do better, is always going to come out. And you got to just accept that. You got to just accept that you can always do a little bit better the next time. But the way I'm doing my stuff is I don't play the same. For jam nights, every week I pick 3 or 4 new songs, which, considering the amount of songs I know, this isn't a problem. But picking songs to see what, like how I pick my songs and what I do is I try to see what's going to resonate with the audience. You can get stuck playing the same old classics all the time that are just crowd pleasers no matter where you go. So they hire you, they hire somebody else. It doesn't really matter because 4 bands have the same set list, just they arrange it a little bit different. I'm trying to bring in songs that are less than 10 years old, which the songs itself are not that difficult. Some are, but the thing is they're not known. So if it hits and people really like it, and it's a newer song, you can keep that in the repertoire. But if they're like, okay, yeah, that was great, we've heard like 5,000 other people play this song live, you'll get claps, people like it, but it's like, when you know you got a hit that's going to keep the crowd going, this is going to sound really funny, but you want to pick a couple of songs that are going to stand out. If you were to pick a really good set list, what's going to happen is you're going to find that most of the songs, oh wow, those are nice horses. 3 black horses. Oh man, those are beautiful. I'm not a horse guy, but those are nice horses. Sorry, getting back to it. You're going to pick songs, like the majority of the songs you're going to play in the night are going to be good, but they're not going to be phenomenal and stand out. You're going to pick a couple of showboat songs, something that's going to showcase your talents. Maybe it's your singing abilities, your playing abilities, both, whatever, and you're going to throw those songs out. But if each song is some sort of musical masterpiece, and you'll either understand what I'm saying or not, hopefully you'll get it. But if each one's a technical masterpiece, each one's a showboat, they don't differentiate for, like there's no, you know, if each one's the exact same tempo, each one's the exact same razzle-padazz, you'll be complimented as a musician, but it won't cut through to the crowd because it's like, each song is just so spectacular that, well, how do you pick a favorite, right? But you want to pick a set list that every song is really good. But good doesn't necessarily mean fancy all the time, right? So what I'm getting at is that when you pick your songs, the best way to figure out what songs to pick is through like jam nights and stuff like that. But the best way is just to have alternate sets. I tend to like to have, when I'm playing the whole night to myself, and I got the stage for 3 hours, whether it's 3 45-minute sets or 3 hours solid, whatever it is, or 2 hour-and-a-half sets, doesn't really matter, 3 1-hour sets, whatever it is, I tend to like, okay, well, I'm going to try this set, and I try to make note of what songs went over well with the audience. What I do is I put a little check mark on the songs that get the most response from the audience. Now, once that happens, is the next time I will play another set, and I'll keep the checkmark songs on the first the first 3 sets for the previous evening, and look at it and see how the night's going with the new material. Now, sometimes there might be some crossover songs that, okay, this one I got to play it each time because I just know it's going to go over well no matter what. But then there's some songs that, okay, I know this is a crowd pleaser, but I am so sick of playing it. You know, I want to switch it up. That's why you want to have alternative sets. But sometimes the night takes a change on you. Sometimes the night gets a little bit more hyper. Then you need to ramp it up a bit. Maybe you'll say, well, I was going to play this song, but this song's a little... you make your executive call and say that this song would be a better song to substitute because it's a little bit more raunchy, a little less raunchy, whatever it is. whether the night's going more hyper or more quiet or whatever. The idea is to keep the audience pulled in as long as possible and entertain as much as possible, but as rowdy as possible to make the bar as much money as possible, so that when you ask for your second gig, you kind of get a second kick at the can, where it's like, oh yeah, we'll have you back. Hey, look, we'll come. You can come back in 2 weeks or a week or whatever, but don't overdo it. The problem is playing the same place over and over again is you stagnate. It's like, oh yeah, we seen this guy 2 weeks ago. Oh yeah, it's the exact same set list that he had last week. Great for the newcomers. The people that, well, it's that guy, he plays every Wednesday. Okay, that's great and fine and dandy and all, but we know exactly what he's going to play. He's going to play the same song, set list he's been playing for 25 years. And people, that's okay if you're only playing there once a month, once every other month, but even at that, and people know you're coming back 1 month and the next month they come and see you and you play the same set list again the next time you see them. The third time you play there, places, you'll hear crickets most of the time, because unless it's a place that, people just don't, like, you're only there every 6 months or whatever. Yeah, people come out because they're just, okay, we know they're going to play the same songs over and over again, but, we just need to get out. It's still fun anyway. So the goal is to always have it switched up, which keeps it entertaining for you. Now, one thing that I noticed years ago when I was playing like 4 nights a week, that after about 2 or 3 months, playing even our own original songs was tedious. We lost the luster for it. I can only imagine these bands that get, these one-hit wonders or whatever, and, for 30 years after, that's the only song that gets a rouse out of the crowd, and all their new stuff just falls the wayside. They just can't find that new hit. You know what I mean? And they're stuck that, okay, well, this is the song we end the night on, and they get sick of it. They just get sick of playing it. I'll use Iron Maiden as an example. I saw Iron Maiden. They played Number of the Beast. They didn't play Run to the Hills. They didn't play Wasted Years. They didn't play a bunch of other ones. It was just kind of like they didn't play Trooper. You know what I mean? Like because they're so sick of it. So I think what they do is like, we're so sick of this. Okay, one night. Okay, tonight we'll play Number of the Beast for this crowd. This crowd gets Trooper. Next one gets Wasted Years or whatever it might be, or Aces High. I think they did play Aces High. So, but I can understand why they're reluctant to do it. And I remember Bruce Dickinson out on the stage saying, "This is how the night's going to go. We're going to be playing a bit of old stuff, some of our mid stuff from, and then the rest of the night's going to be all the new stuff." So just it's like, okay, before you start screaming for this song and that song, we're just letting you know what you're going to get. And I mean, that's kind of cool. A funny performance I saw the other night, I don't know when he did this, and not a guy I would ever follow, but Richard Marx. You know that Right Here Waiting for You, or I think that was the name of the song, whatever it was. I was doing an acoustic live thing, and I thought, well, I'll just check it out, because sometimes these songs that, a metalhead like me would never listen to when I was younger, but you had a girlfriend that did, okay, you would never get caught dead, in daylight listening to it. But it's like maybe years, you'll give it a chance years later, just see how the guy performs acoustic. Well, he does the song and he starts it off by saying, here's a song that I got really popular for, and if you know the words, please don't sing along, you'll ruin it. I'm like, how arrogant, but it was funny. Like, I mean, it was just, but he nailed it, and you know what? Not telling the audience not to sing it right away. Like, they sang the outro chorus and stuff like that with him, but he was right. It came off spectacular, letting him do the first 2 verses. It was well done. I gotta say, it was well done. But it was just funny. Yeah. Don't sing for the first 2. Like, don't sing along if you know the verses. Just don't sing along right away, because you'll ruin it. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, rock star ego, I guess. But anyway, I thought it was funny, but he was right. It really did go over. So when the people did kick in, it really worked very, very well. Now, the song I'm doing tonight, if I pull it off, there may be people singing along, maybe not. Most likely not, because it's a small place. But you never know what you're going to get. My goal with my third song of the night, which might be the last song I do of the night, but I'm hoping I get that one more song in which the sound man seems to be quite, I don't abuse the stage time, so most of my songs will fit within the 15 minutes anyway. So if I go a little over, I think even with my GoPro last week, even with the long song that I did, the Meatloaf song there, the Bat Out of Hell song, which is like a 6-minute tune, the way I played or something like that, 5-6 minute tune, I was still 16 minutes, so I was like a minute over. But there wasn't such a big waiting list that it was a big deal. You know what I mean? I wasn't like Space Hippie there a couple of weeks ago that was 22 minutes on one song. That was something, but you do get that. You do get that. And I understand, you got to respect the stage. So, how many more jam nights am I going to do? I don't know. I mean, I really do have to find a new venue. The problem is this is a good venue to cut your teeth on for sure. But the thing is that if I'm going to set up a circuit, okay, I have to find places that have their own PA. Now, when I'm talking like that, I'm really talking about going to town. But there is a significant difference in playing here and playing in town. And in town, the places I want to play that pay are hard to get. And I don't want to blow those places. So I really do need an entire night to myself on stage in a few maybe places that are not so so packed or whatever, to work out what I'm going to play when I get to the good paying places. Because hopefully within the next 6 months, I'm playing like from here to Montreal. I don't know if I want to go as far as Toronto, but maybe some places in between. But there is circuits that I can do up here that, like say Pembroke, even work my way out to Renfrew, Pembroke, Golden Lake maybe. I don't know if I want to go towards Maniwaki and stuff like that. It's a little rough at those places. But I could probably play Gracefield, maybe my neighbor, a couple of neighboring towns. So looking for the gigs, hunting them down. I'll only do a full night if I'm getting paid though. Like jam night, yeah, it's pro bono and it's a lot of fun and it's a social thing. So I do it because I enjoy it anyway. So you're basically the gas money, the 2 drinks I have in the night, which are usually 2 Pepsi. So I spend like $5. Last week I had 3 drinks because I was running a little dry. So I spent like $7.50 last week. So it's a cheap night for me. But like if I'm making money, then even if I'm not making a lot of money, as long as I can make more than my gas money there and back, and a little extra, then it's good. So it might not make a lot of money for it, but it might make enough money to be able to buy more equipment. Like for example, if it can make enough money to put the gas in this to go to a further show, well then that's pretty cool too. If it can pay for the next set of strings, etc., etc., and then start working on other instruments. Like I do really, really, really want to get another 12-string. I haven't had one in years, and but I want a good 12-string, a good gigging 12-string. This little guitar, I mean, it's showing its age, but it's still a good workhorse guitar. Owes me nothing. Behaves well on stage, so I don't mind using it. But like the electronics on it aren't the best. Mind you, I don't get the whole night to set. Like I don't get like 20 minutes to adjust the sound or whatever. I just gotta plug in, get some sound out of it, and play. So when you're playing the whole night, you can really hone in the guitar's tone. So, and of course, if I had new strings on it, it would sound like 110 times better. But you get the idea of what I'm getting at. Like you don't have the luxury at a jam night to really hone in on everything. And it's not your goal anyway. It's just get up there, showcase a little, do your best, work with what you got. and start building some relationships with people. You never know. You might meet someone and say, hey, you know what? You could come over to my bar once in a while and play too. I actually pay. Hey, do you do more of that stuff that you're doing? I mean, I get good compliments when I'm up there, and I know my GoPro does not capture the sound that I'm hearing on stage. It always sounds better for me than what it does on the GoPro. So if the GoPro sounds okay, that means I sounded really good. Because here's how I'm judging. When I'm sitting in the audience and listening to the other guys that are really, really fantastic, now listen to the GoPro and it's like, well, it doesn't sound as good at all. Like, it definitely doesn't capture the room. It doesn't capture the ambience. You don't feel the vibrations in the floor and stuff like that. It definitely doesn't capture all the dynamics of the person's voice and everything. And I'm like, okay, when you listen to him, it's like, he still sounds good, but you guys, you should have been there. You know what I mean? Like, to really capture how well it sounds. So if I sound okay on it, then it's like, okay, then I probably did better than I thought. But it also, it's a double-edged sword. Then you find out, okay, well, I was playing too fast. Last week, I played too fast. I did well, but I played too fast. I can't remember what 3 songs I did last week. What did I do last week? I did Classical Gas. I did... what did I do last week? I kind of forget what I did last week. I know I did the Meatloaf song. I did I do Mr. Big song last week? I think I did. I played the Mr. Big song just a little bit too fast. I should have slowed it down a bit more. And there was another song in there. I don't remember what it was, though. But whatever it was, anyway, everything sounded good. This bar here, I wish they had their own PA, but I think that's more of a country bar. So I don't do a lot of country. The country I have is more like country rock or top 40 country songs. Like I'll do like The Gambler or something like that, which is good, and you'll get a good crowd with that. Do Copperhead Road. I don't know if you'd really call that country. It's kind of like a country rock, top 40 country. When I do country, but if you do like Waylon Jennings, some older Johnny Cash, I do Ghost Riders, but I do kind of a heavier version of Ghost Riders. I do Rolling Stones, stuff like that, but that's not really country music. I don't do the new country hardly at all. I do one Alabama song, In a Hurry. I like the way I do that, and I run it off of a Bruce Springsteen song. And I know I could play that one tonight, but I know those ones will go over well. They always do. But I like trying new stuff. So tonight I have songs that are relatively, one's that's less than probably 10 years old, which is well, you'll get to hear it after, because I'm not 100% know if I'm going to do that one. Yeah, it's like I want to modernize a bit, because I know that if you play it well, it will catch on, but it might be a song that, because it's unfamiliar, people don't sing along with it. They don't, they'll clap, they'll be happy with it, they'll be like, oh, that was a really cool song. But they might not get hardcore into it because they're not unfamiliar with it. So when you play certain songs, like I say, how to formulate a good set list, like I say, get your showboat songs somewhere near the end of your sets. And then maybe take some less popular songs and put them in between, but just play them really well. And maybe they're a little bit showboaty as well, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just the crowd's like, oh, well, every song he played was great, but I was really happy when he played this song or that song, and they sang along. And if you can get a sing-along, that's a really good thing. And that happens sometimes. And if you're not ready for it, it's really strange the first time people sing along with your song that you're playing. Even most likely it's going to be a cover. But if they're singing along with a song you wrote, then you're doing something really right. But the whole case here is that when they're singing along, okay, the first time you do, let them sing along. Extend a few bars. Give them a little bit more, because you got your audience there. Now you need to hold your audience there. You're going to lose your audience throughout the night. Even the world's best bands with the most dedicated fans in the audience have people look away and text and do other things while their favorite song's playing. It happens. Don't take it personally. People will walk out of the room while you play. People walk into the room while you play. Don't take it personally. Don't take it as, especially on a jam night, because sometimes what it is that you get there, there's a whole bunch of people in the bar when you get there, but it's the middle of the week, so a lot of people, they want to stay. It's like me, I want to stay the whole night, but I don't want to be getting home at 3:30 in the morning, waking up my dad and stuff like that, because he's got to get up at like 5 to go to work, Well, he doesn't have to get up that early, but he's old school, he gets up early. So unless I'm getting paid, I'm not going to be getting home at 3 or 4 in the morning, you know what I mean? So I get home 12 o'clock, 11:30, 12 o'clock. That's pretty good, but most people are starting to leave the bar by that time too. That's why I don't go up too late. But some of the best bands come out at like the last of the night too, so you got to find yourself where you're going to be. But when you have the whole night to yourself, it doesn't matter. But picking that song, when you display that song, I say do it as soon as you can get through the song relatively well. That way, you're not taking 6 months to go out and play in front of people. If you bomb on it the first time, maybe try it a second time a little bit later on. Practice it a bit more. If you practice it until you get it perfect and you're sick of it, play it once, then move on to another song. And then come back at it once in a while. If not, you just ruin the song for yourself, you know what I mean? Like I played that song that I'm going to do tonight 3 times today. And it's like, okay, if I play it one more time, I'm going to be sick of it. You know what I mean? I love the song. I know after I play it tonight, I'm not probably going to play it for months or until I get a gig. But it will depend on how well it goes over. If I don't play it well, then I can't judge the song. But if I play it really well, it just doesn't take. You never know. You might think it's the most spectacular song. It's like, okay, the crowd will be defenseless against it. But then sometimes, no, it's the wrong song for the venue. So it's like I know the tempos that I'm doing are a little bit too high octane for my crowd. So I'm trying to get something that's lively, but I'm also, you have to understand, like with the jam night, it's really hard to gauge too, because, for example, the first 2 bands might be at the same tempo, and then you come in, you're a complete different tempo. Well, you're changing the dynamic. You're trying to change the dynamic of the night within 3 songs. Good luck with that. Sometimes you get, you're lucky, and it's like, okay, finally somebody's playing something that's what we want. It's a hit and miss. It's a hit and miss. What your focus should be is just playing it the best you can play it, because everything after that really doesn't matter. It's if you play it well, people are going to enjoy it no matter what style it is. Rock, blues, jazz, metal. I've said it before. Like my. I guess I don't know what kind of relative he would have been, but he was related. The guy I bought my first electric guitar from, Gilbert, he was my great aunt's husband's brother. So was that 4th cousin, 3rd cousin? I don't know how that works. But anyway, uncle, 2nd uncle. I don't know what that works. I get messed up on that. But anyway, he said it best. Whether you're playing rock, blues, jazz, metal, classical, bluegrass, it doesn't matter what you're playing. If people can't understand what you're playing, they're simply not going to listen. So always, always, always play everything to the best of your ability, regardless. Even if you're in the wrong venue. Trust me, people sometimes just respect the music, you know what I mean? They might not like the music, but they'll respect it, And so always play the best of your ability. And sometimes, just by playing to the best of your ability, and I always try to practice what I preach, and get better at what I do. When you do play the best of your ability, sometimes you convert people. Like I mentioned, I've been watching a lot of Paul Gilbert lately. I don't know why, just sometimes I go on these fads where I pick a guitar player and, what are they doing, A guy that I just started watching lately, he's really good. I might see if I can pull up some of his songs. And I saw him years ago with Mr. Big, and that was Richie Kotzen. filling in for Paul Gilbert at the Roxy in LA. And he was really good, but I didn't know he was still around. And some of his music, he's like Soundgarden meets Mr. Big, I guess. I don't know. Like he's got a very he sounds just like what you call him from Soundgarden. There, just died last year. Which I was fortunate enough to see Soundgarden live. Boy, what a great show! What a great show! But anyway, yeah, he sounds just like him almost. He's got that raspy kind of heavy voice. I can kind of pull off raspy heavy. I'm good for that. You know, that kind of like southern rock kind of sound, that Texas kind of sound. I think it would be too heavy for this place, but THC, no, not what you're thinking. The Texas Hippie Coalition. Have you ever listened to those guys? Pissed Off, Mad About It. Those songs. What a great song. Paw Paw Hill. I want to play that one live. I think that would go over really cool. I'll pick a night where I do like 3 songs in like drop D or something like that. And yeah, I could probably pull off him. You know, maybe Black Label Society or something like that in an acoustic version. That would be cool. But this bar might not appreciate that kind of heaviness. But then again, with the kind of southern rock spin, they might. You never know, right? It's just, yeah, you got to try things out. And you don't want to be stuck doing jam nights forever. I get that. Neither do I. But yeah, ease your way into it. Trust me, at the end of the first set of your first gig, you will be so exhausted, and by the time you get to the end of your third set of your first gig, you are going to be exhausted and euphorically hyper for days. It's a weird phenomenon. It just drains you because you put so much in. I think it's because your first gigs, you're nervous, so that it's a positive stress, like it's a good nervous, but that drains your energy a bit. And then you sweat profusely because you're under these lamps. This stage is not bad. Last week was kind of hot, though. That's why I like to sit on stage. So, and they did move the spotlight a little bit closer last time. So, yeah, it was one of those things that, yeah, okay, it's like I've learned this years ago. Stay away from the freaking spotlights, or you know, you're going to be drenched by the end of the night, even if you're up there for just like 3 songs. That lady there, Isabel Diaz there, she goes up to a fantastic player. She's up there in her dress there. She came off the stage. She was just soaking wet because she was standing up. I was like, oh yeah, I sat down. She was right under the light. She said, my God, it's hot up there. I said, I know. I said, that's why I sit down. She said, oh, good idea. You know. But yeah, like it is stuff like that, and that drains you. But screaming, hooting, hollering, and stuff like that, singing is a physical thing. The first thing you're going to notice when you're done your show is you're starving. You're just freaking starving. Now, I eat very early in the day because to sing on a full stomach is like next to impossible, especially some of the songs I pick. But I do try to pick songs that you can sing with a full stomach. I know it sounds weird, but then you can pull it off when your vocals are ready to go, warmed up and everything like that. So that's also very cool too. Now, that's the other thing too with a jam night, is you don't get a warm-up, which I should be warming up now. But me and my loud voice and just yelling at the camera here is almost like singing anyway, so I'm good. A couple of glasses of water just to smooth me out. I'm good. There won't be any power yelling tonight anyway. I won't be doing the Meatloaf stuff. But it's okay with the Meatloaf type of stuff because a little, if you're rough, your voice gets a little bit rough, it fits into the song. But if you're doing a ballad, it can be a little bit harsh to keep your voice smooth, right? And I admit it, I don't have the best voice in the world, but I can sing in key relatively well, providing I can hear everything coming back to me. That's what gets you. Is even if you have to dial back the volume of your guitar. Trust me, even if you think your guitar is a little on the quiet side, I can guarantee your guitar is probably going to be more than loud enough. Put your effort on your vocals. As long as your guitar is loud enough to hear yourself play, so you know where your chordings are, then you're good. If the mids are too high, it'll drown out your voice. For some reason, I have no mids in my voice. I have okay lows, and I have some mediocre highs. I do not have a 2-octave voice. I don't even know if I have a 1-octave voice. I probably do have a 1-octave voice. I'm not musically trained I can't say I'm not musically trained because, not trained in the sense of I took lessons. I'm trained in the sense of my vocals were so bad years ago that my highly amazing 2.5-octave voice to 3-octave voice female singer that we used to have, Stacy, in my old band years ago, wanted us to be able to sing backing without sounding like crap, so she gave us a lot of stuff. And anytime I was sitting there, she was like the most bizarre person you'd ever meet. God love her. She had this incredible, powerful voice, 3-octave range, 2.5, 3-octave range, depending on the song. Almost any night, and this girl could slug back beers and eat a whole pizza and still pull it off. She could do it, right? And then her talking voice, she sounded like a nasal queen. It was, hi guys, she literally sounded like that cracky little voice, and we'd laugh at her, and make fun of her all the time, in an adoring way, But her singing voice, she had the power of Lee Aaron, the smoothness of an opera singer, and it was where did this girl come from? How did she do this, And she kind of got us doing harmonies. She goes, okay, your voice is going to be here. I want alto, tenor, and soprano in there. And then, go, shut up and do it. This is how you're going to do it. So I learned a bit that, and then I did 2 books of Fast Track Singer 1 and Fast Track Singer 2. And yes, I made it through, and yes, I was able to hit everything. The rest is just practicing and playing. If I didn't have to play the guitar and sing, yes, singing would be a lot easier for me, because you could only focus on singing. But if you have to play and sing, especially the song I'm going to be singing tonight, it's going to be very difficult. I'm just praying I don't get too cracky. As long as I don't get too cracky, but the tempo is going to be the key. If I play too slow, I'll lose the audience. If I play too fast, I'll lose my voice. I will not have the wind to carry the voice. If I play it just right, I win the table. I win the table, people. And I'll be carried out of the bar, with people with a cup yelling, champion! Champion! I don't know if you saw the commercial there, like that. They'll rain beer on me. The women will all want to marry me, and it'll be really good. I think it was a dream I had last night. Never mind, scratch that. People might clap. So I'll be happy with that. All good. All good. Hello. Speaking of ladies, she's coming out tonight. That was a nice one. Oh, look out for the puppy dog. Well, we are here, and I am excited. I can't wait. Look at kitty cat! All the animals run across the road. They're all crazy. I'm going to get flattened doing that. So, yeah, so I'm excited for tonight. Can't wait to see what's going to come out of it. Oh, yeah, I always forget where the frickin' parking lot is. I gotta stop doing that. Are you kidding me? Full already? Oh. My spot's here again. Nice. I probably should be over. I hope nobody tries to squeeze. I don't think anybody's going to be able to get between the two of us. Yeah, so there we go. I'm here. I guess I can shut my vehicle off. Don't know who that is, but smiling. Everybody's happy. Got to do that. Got to get everything ready to go. Wish me luck. I will fill you in. And of course, I got my GoPro, so hopefully tonight's going to be really special. If it falls apart, it falls apart. That happens, but I think if it's going the way I've been practicing it the past couple of days, I think it's going to be really good. So anyway, you guys, be true to yourselves, be true to others, always do the right thing. Have yourselves a great day.